Greetings, viewers. This is A Vision Entertainment once again, and we are back with another special show. And this time we have a special guest. She is the legendary Inaya-Dae, a label, a label owner, publisher, songwriter, band leader, and producer. You're also a prolific writer, having penned songs for various artists and contributed to hits like Missy Elliott's Gossip Folks, and also the owner of Ny-O-Dae Music, a record label and production company. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. And I just want to, I heard your songs, I went on, and I knew you for a while, but I knew you were very busy. So I said, let me try to, get her onto the show. And it was a struggle in the beginning, but you're here. You're here now.
We're here, yes.
That's right. When I had songs like Nasty Girl, which was a remake, correct?
Yes. Originally
And
by Vanity Six.
yes, Vanity Six. And
Yes.
what inspired you to do that again?
Well, I have a band called Dysfunction. Cheryl Pepsi Riley and I have a band called Dysfunction. And years ago, we would sing Nasty Girl with the band at Cafe Wa in the Village in New York City. And a lot of people would tell me that I should record it. And they were like, sis, you need to record Nasty Girl, that's fly. Because I put a different spin on it.
Yeah,
Not that you can hear the whole spin on the record, but when I do it live, you hear more of what I do with it.
that's
But
right.
different people kept telling me that I should record it. So I was like, let me record this thing before somebody else does, and then I'll be mad. So
That's
I
right.
went and did it, and it happened to hit. So it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's up to like I want to say who almost is it a million or somewhere maybe like two.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's and the beat is catchy, like the original song. Everything is put together. Can you just walk me through the steps on how did you get the rights to do the remake? Did you talk to anybody from Vanity or how did that happen?
Well, I did not have to, thank goodness,
Oh
because
wow, great, great.
the same producer who produced the song that I did in 1998 called Horny, I was
Mhm.
there I think we were writing and recording for Randy Crawford, I believe.
You go.
Um, and after we finished that session, we were going to lay down a rough of Nasty Girl because I took it to him. I said, I've been singing this song and everybody tells me I should record it. So I think I want to do it. He said, okay, I'll make a loop for you. I was in Germany and he says,
Okay.
I'll make a loop for you
Yeah.
and you can record it. And then when you're in America, I'll just play around with it and see what we come up with. And I said, okay, cool. So I go into the vocal booth
Hmm.
and he had been cleaning out his vinyl records.
Okay.
So there were crates everywhere in the vocal booth. The
Yeah.
crate that was right in front of the microphone,
Hmm.
I bent down, picked up this album, and what was it? Vanity Six. And it
86.
said
Wow.
Nasty Girl.
Wow.
And I just picked it
Wow.
up and put it in the window of the
Wow.
recording booth. And he said, oh my God, we have to do it now. We have to do it now. I was like, of all the thousands of records you have, this one is sitting face up
Oh,
on top of the crate.
it was
And I
meant.
was like, this is not a coincidence. So we really, after we finished the other session, we went right into Nasty Girl, got that done. I get home. He says, listen to what I did. It was
Wow.
amazing. He said, let's try to get it signed. So we shopped it to all around the world, who
Yeah.
is, around the world.
Hmm.
They own that.
They own
So
it.
they own that
Wow.
label. So we shopped it to them. And yeah, and the rest is history. It hit.
That was wonderful. And people love it. They love it. Wow, you also let's also talk about feeling. That's another song, feeling. And then lift it
Yes.
up, lose my worries, just can't get enough. I am the one and can't stop dancing. Which the album Go the Distance was 2024, was last year, right? How did your passion for music begin and what led you to the dance music scene?
Well, my passion for music, I can't even begin to
No.
know when that was because it seems like it was from birth. But when I was a little kid, my mother sang in the choir, my sister sang in the choir, and they both
Right.
led
Yeah.
songs. You know, they were choir
Yeah.
leaders. And my aunt, well, I should say my aunts, both of them, and
Mhm.
everyone in my family, to me, it
Wow.
seemed
Wow.
could sing. That's
Okay.
what, as a child, that's what it seemed to me.
Okay.
So, because everybody sang in church. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
anybody can sing. To me, it was normal for everyone to be able to sing. And
Yeah.
when I was in elementary school, I encountered a friend. I won't say her name because she'll kill me, who
Mm.
couldn't hold a note. I would sing a note and she would sing a
But she
different
couldn't.
note. And I would say, ah, and she would go, and I was like, "Stop playing." But she wasn't playing. She was tone deaf. And I
Yeah.
couldn't understand it. I was like, you don't really want to learn how to sing. And
Mhm.
I ridiculed her for it, and she really got her feelings hurt. But as I grew, I realized that that's a real thing because I wound up being in the children's choir at church when I was very young.
Wow.
And
Okay.
we were singing a song called God is So Good. And
Hmm.
it's very childlike. God is so good.
Yeah.
God is so good. So we're singing that. And some of the other kids were just like, God is so good. And I was like, stop, sing right. And
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
like, huh? And I hated being in that choir because the sound killed my nerves. To this day, when I hear a bad sound, it hurts my spine. And it
Wow.
started then. I didn't understand why or what it
Understand.
was,
Yeah.
but it really bothered me. And I said, Ma, I don't want to be in that choir. I want to be in your choir. She said, I'm in the adult choir. You can't be in my choir. And I didn't understand it. I'm like, but I don't sing
Right.
like that.
Right.
So I started to sing alone. So I became a
Hmm.
soloist very early. And my cousin, who is the band leader for the group Sky that made Call Me, Let's Celebrate, all that
That's right.
stuff.
Sky. Yeah.
Yeah. His name is Saul Roberts Jr. And he's the one that he's the male vocalist. He does all the speaking and singing. And
Okay.
he's the rhythmic guitarist, the co producer along with Randy Muller, and
Okay.
he's the band leader. So at my aunt's house, I grew up hearing them rehearse in the basement. So I heard
Wow.
a lot of funk, disco, R&B at a very young age.
A little bit of
I helped them
everything, right?
shop. Yeah, I helped them shop
Wow.
their first album I was 9 years old, and he wrote a script for me, and I would ask questions, and the songs that they recorded would answer my questions. And that's
Wow.
how they shopped their deal and got the extra attention from the labels. So
Wow.
every song made it on their project except one because it's just too many.
Yeah.
So every
Wow.
song made it. Even if you watch their unsung episode, I'm
Mhm.
on it a lot
Yeah, they
with
talk
them
about
because
you.
I was there in the beginning.
Okay.
So I got to hear them rehearse all the time. I
Mhm.
got to hear BT Express, brass construction. So all of
Wow.
this got into my body, not
Hmm.
just my ears, but just lived inside my body.
Yeah.
So funk and all of that stuff became a part of me and it became a passion of mine. And all
Wow.
I wanted to do was hear Shaka Khan and Earth, Wind, and Fire and things like that. And he would let
Classic.
me play along on the drums and
Hmm.
things like that. And that's how, yeah, that's where my passion began, church and through my family.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's a great story.
Thank
It
you.
sounds like you're going to write a book soon. This is just you know.
It's in the thought. It's in the
Yeah,
thought process.
it's leading up to that.
Yes.
Yeah, and your early career, it included Broadway roles, including a understudy for Stephanie Mills in The Wiz and a lead role in others. Can you walk us through a specific example of how you transform the personal experience or observation into a song?
Ah, well, most of my songs, I write them from life or others' lives. My music is always about life, love, music, and God, because those are the things that everybody can relate to, even if you don't believe. You
That's
know what
right.
I mean?
That's right.
Those are things that you know about. So
That's
everyone
right.
can relate to those things, and those are the things that mean most to me.
Hmm.
So it's easy for me to transfer and translate, transcribe life to music.
That's right.
When you're doing theater, though, it's the opposite because it's someone else's music,
Hmm.
it's someone else's blocking,
That's right.
someone else's direction, someone else's text.
Hmm.
So not much of you goes into it except your dramatic interpretation, which is also limited by the director.
Hmm.
And you have to
Right.
do it and sing it the same way every single time. You have to
Wow.
try not to stray from the theme too far. And
Right.
some producers, some directors don't allow you to stray at all. You're just in a box. So I was very happy when I happened to be in Germany doing musical theater. And the co director had a friend named Boris, and he told Boris about me and me about Boris. And
Mhm.
I rode 4 hours on the train to Hanover
Wow.
from Dusseldorf, met with them, laid down what would become Keep Pushing, which is my first
That's
house
right.
single released.
That's right.
And so once that took off, I was touring so much that I didn't have time for musical theater. And I miss musical theater in a way,
Oh,
but
wow.
I do not miss being so constricted and
Okay.
restricted. I like the freedom of being able to interpret my own music the way I feel it that
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wow. How was it meeting? Have you, I mean, I know you had a chance to meet Stephanie Mills. How was that friendship? Just meeting
Ah,
her.
she's amazing. I mean, George Faison, who is the director of The Wiz, he's the first Tony Award, African American Tony Award winner for choreography in a Broadway show
Okay.
ever. He
Okay.
won in, I think, 74 or 77, I'm not clear, but there's
Wow.
footage of it, and he is a legend, and thank God he's still with us.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
he is from the old school where you got yelled at.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get things thrown at you. Get it
Wow. Wow.
together, you know.
Wow. It was like that? Wow. Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah. Listen, dance teachers, theater, they do not play. You know,
Wow.
it's a little the people now get it really easy. You know,
Hmm.
it's different now. Before it was a very stringent process.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would get in trouble. And Stephanie, the
Wow.
way we became friends is in rehearsal in New York. I was yelled at.
Oh,
I
wow.
was
Okay.
yelled at while I was on the munchkin stool. I got yelled at. And during lunch, she came and sat next to me. And they told us, they instructed us, don't bother Miss Mills. Leave her alone.
Wow.
Right. So
Wow.
everybody was like, oh, really? Okay. Well, we just said good morning or whatever. And she
Yeah.
was always friendly. It's just our staff that was like, don't bother Miss Mills, I guess, because we were kids and they didn't want us all around her, bugging her. So I sat against the wall and I was chilling, taking my break. She sat next to me and she said, why is he yelling at you like that? Next time he yells at you, just tell him I did it. Just blame it on me.
That's
And I was
right.
like, oh, it's all right. I'm used to him. And she's
Yeah.
like, well, he doesn't have to yell at you like that. And that's how we became friends. Ever since then, she's always looked out. Even now, she always monitors my social media and she'll see me doing something on
Oh, wow.
Instagram.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, and she always encourages me and just is lets me know she's there and that she's watching and
Wow.
sends me a message, I love you, whatever, you know. So she's been the best from the beginning to this day. I would say she is a champion for me.
Wow. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Because sometimes people kind of like separate, but the people you've been around, do y'all still have like a relationship, like just on social media or send each other little messages every now and then?
Oh yes. Yes, 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 definitely. She and Valerie Simpson of Ashford and Simpson,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Valerie I see all the time. We co-host the Sugar Bar together once in a while. I do it like 3 or 4 times a year and we
Yeah.
co-host it together and that's her restaurant, her
The Sugar
restaurant
Bar.
slash club. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Sugar
What?
Bar, New York City.
New York City. Okay. The Sugar Bar. All right.
Yes.
Wow.
And yeah, she's right there. And she is one of my dearest friends, mentor,
Mhm.
everything. No matter what I'm doing, she shows up. If I do a concert at church, Valerie Simpson is
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
She
that's
gives a
great.
donation to the church and everything. I'm like, you don't have to do that. She goes, I want to. I want to. So she's there all the time. If I'm singing somewhere and this has happened and someone
Yeah.
is playing for me and she doesn't like the way they're playing the keyboard, she tells them to scooch over. Excuse me, I got it. and she will take over and play for me. She does not play when it comes to me and my
Yeah.
music. So I'm really blessed that my mentors and our friends and now family. You know, George Faison, whom I spoke of earlier, I always
Yeah.
call him my friend, brother, uncle, dad, because he's everything. He
That's
still fusses at me
right.
when I need to be yelled at. You know what I mean?
To this day,
To
huh?
this day. You know, he goes,
Wow.
"No, what are you doing? You
Yeah.
get on your business." You know, he stays on me. So I'm really, really lucky and blessed.
Well, I just wanted to, you're not only stuck in just one genre, like you also do R&B, funk, soul. How did you know that house music was something that you really wanted to do? Like, what was that moment that I like this, you know?
Well, I was in high school, and a friend of mine who is now passed on, Cassandra Balance, she had a Sony Walkman, and she said, "You got to hear this new music." She played keyboards, wrote songs, everything when we were like 14. So
Yeah.
she's like, "You got to hear this new music. They call it house. You got to hear it." She put the Walkman on my ears, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, I heard this." I said, "They call this house?" I thought it was just
Okay.
R&B. She said, "No, it's house. They created a new genre for it and everything."
Mhm.
And I was like, "What?" So from the beginning, I loved it. I
Wow.
knew that one day I would release house singles. I had recorded demos, house demos, but I never allowed them to come out because at the time I had an artist development deal with Sony.
Oh,
And
okay.
at that time, they did not blur the lines. If you were doing dance music, that's what you're doing.
That's it.
If you're doing hip hop and R&B, then
That's
you're a
what you're
hip hop
doing.
and R&B
Okay.
artist.
Okay.
And that's what I was doing. You know, I you probably know that I sang a duet with Latifah. I did hooks for MC Light,
Well, yeah,
everything.
I
Big
have
Daddy
all of that.
Kane.
That's right. I was going to get into all of that. Yeah, I did my homework. I did my homework. With the song for Latifah, was it Unity, UNITY, or which one was that with Latifah?
That's on her album called Order in the Court, you know, where she has the fire coming from her head. It looks
Okay,
like her head is
okay,
on fire. On
okay.
this album, she did a dedication to her brother Lance,
Yeah,
and who has passed on. So
yeah.
this song that we did together actually is a ballad, and we're doing it as a duet. So
Wow.
she called me and asked me if I would sing on her album because we knew each other already. And
Wow.
she asked me if I would sing on her album. I was like, "Are you kidding? Heck yeah,
That's right.
thank you."
Yeah, that's right. That's
You
right.
know, so we did a song called What You Gonna Do? And it's basically what you're gonna do when somebody goes away and tell me why it hurts. And, you know, it's an
Yeah.
ode to Lance.
So her brother passed away on a motorcycle, right? This was years ago. So
Yes,
I remember that
yes,
story. Yeah, wow, that's
yep,
wonderful. That's as far as the song and the duet, yeah, that was great. It's like a collaboration, you know.
yes.
Yeah, and you surprised me when you said you were a hip hop artist also.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I rap, I do
Really?
the whole sound effect,
Wow,
the scratching, everything. I still do that with my
wow,
band. And
wow,
people are always looking at me like, is she really doing that? Or are they doing it? And she's making the mouth movement. You know,
wow. Yeah,
yeah, I do all of it. You know, I am engulfed in music. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's a
yeah.
saying that we have in church. When Satan was in heaven as Lucifer.
Mhm.
He's meaning, you know, he was of light. He was
Yeah,
light, but
yeah.
he was also music. He was the head of the music. And when he walked, music played. There was a music that emanated from his body. And I was like, oh, okay, like me. Got you.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how I feel. Music is all over me, all in me. I can't see myself without it in some capacity.
Wow, and that's what you just said about the Lucifer when you mentioned that you said he was in charge of the music in heaven.
Yeah.
Oh, when it mentions about his pipes, God, it talks about his pipes, and that was the authority that God gave him. Because when from your pipes you got authority, you're speaking. So
Hmm.
people actually thought that was he was a preacher, a director, and all that stuff. But it's deep, and it's funny you mentioned that because I just read that and just learned more of it. That's why I dwelled on it.
Yeah, that's why I prefaced it as in church we say. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Because everything is open to interpretation.
Yeah.
But that's what they teach in church, in the Baptist church, that he, was the minister of music.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's great. You wear a lot of hats, and I mean, you have a lot of things going on, and it's wonderful. Your music often carries an inspirational and encouraging message. As seen in songs like Keep Pushing, we just talked about that. Where does this deep well of positivity come from? And how do you maintain it amidst life challenges and within the music industry?
I think the positivity in my music, the inspiration and encouragement and all of that, comes from me talking to myself. It's
Oh,
me encouraging
yourself.
myself.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And most of the time,
Yeah,
because keep pushing, things are going to get better.
yeah.
That came from Errol Reynolds when I asked, what do you want? What is the subject matter you want me to sing? And because I had just met them, I'm jumping in the booth. I hear the track, and they were like, just sing some things. I said, well, what's the subject matter? What do you want me to sing about? So,
Yeah,
just encourage that will always turn out great in the
great.
end. And
Yeah.
I said, no problem. And I kept singing a bunch of hooks. And then I got to keep pushing on. And they said, and so I just kept going
Keep
from
going,
there.
keep going.
And
Yeah.
I sang that whole song from the top of my head. Nothing was written. And
Wow.
as you can tell, I just drew from my church experiences there, though the mountain seemed too high and the valley low,
Low.
things
Yeah.
like that, things that I knew for myself.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
could sing about. My current record with DJ Mike Cruz, with whom I have, I think, 4 Billboard number ones. Um, it's called Inside Out. This song truly was an encouragement to myself, because it starts off legato, really slow. There was a girl, she had it all figured out, and
Yeah.
her little world was filled. There's no doubt about that. But she lost her way a bit, and she found her way from the inside out. She
Wow.
did everything from the inside out, loved from the inside first, then out. Did her
Wow.
music from the inside, then pushed it out. So
Hmm.
that was to me, because sometimes in this business, it can be really taxing on
Yeah.
your mind, body,
Yeah.
soul, everything. And you have to have a foundation and a core to go
Hmm.
to and go, you know what? We have a song. I go to the rock of my foundation.
Yeah.
I go to the God within me. I retreat to that, and then I can push something else out. I got to go
Wow.
in for a minute
Wow.
sometimes before I can give anybody else anything.
That's
So
right. Right.
that's where I get the inspiration from my music most of the time. I write
Yeah.
about love, life, music, and God, because music I like to sing about too. When I hear a beat or something, I may sing about that beat.
Yeah.
When a producer gives me a beat and he goes, see if you feel anything,
Yeah.
and
See.
I'll
Yeah.
go woo, and I'll sing like a song that I did with Harry Chucho Romero. It
Uh-huh.
says this melody don't need no lyrics. This doesn't
Oh,
need
wow.
and that's how I started out, basically saying
Oh, wow.
this is so dope that it doesn't need any lyrics, and that's how I started writing the song about the truth of what I heard. You
Wow.
know,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
That was very creative. You know,
Thank
very
you.
creative. Yep. I just want to get a little deep and not really personal, but it's something that I think that you will want to hear. It's about having a breaking point in your life. And I just wanted to know, was there any moment in your career where you just wanted to give up everything and just move on doing something different? I know you love music, that is a passion for you. But was there ever a time where you had a breaking point where you just wanted to say, I quit? I just want to stop. Or did you stop for a little while?
I've never stopped doing music, never. But breaking points where and I thought I wanted to stop
Yeah.
happen all the time.
Okay.
It's not just, oh, 1 or 2 times I thought about, just doing something else. Mm-mm. It is, you know, how people who are married say, every day I wake up and I choose you.
Yeah.
They say that
That's
about
right.
their partner.
Yes.
Every day I wake up and I choose music.
Yeah.
You have to be a little insane to stay in the business, because it's ruthless and it can be a
Uh,
lot of things. And
yeah.
some people can't take it.
That's right.
So you got to be a little different to be able to hang in there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's all I know. It's all I want to do. It's all I've ever done. And that's why I said I'll always be in music in some capacity because I
Mhm.
manage. As you said, I produce, I publish. You
Publishing.
know, I'm a musical director. I'm a band leader. So in some capacity, I'll always be in music. But have I ever thought about dropping? Yeah, a lot,
Mhm.
especially seeing my cousins and other family members have regular jobs. And now, like, I'm talking my younger cousins,
Yeah.
regular jobs, like working for sanitation, lots of cops in the family. And then they retire and they're 40 something. And I'm like,
Wow.
maybe I chose unwisely. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Wow.
It looks so cool. They went and bought their houses wherever they bought them, and
Yeah.
they get a
Yeah.
great pension, and then they're just like, okay, now I'm gonna be, I don't know, a songwriter. Now I'm gonna paint.
Yeah. I
You know,
understand.
and I sometimes say, dang, maybe I should have gone that way. But then I come back to my senses and I realize that I would have been miserable
That's
had
right.
I not followed my passion.
That's right.
So, yes, every day I choose music, and there are many moments where I get annoyed and discouraged,
That's right.
and just want to go another direction. But as we say, my spirit doesn't let me.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
And all of the touring you does, touring and have to go to the studio, make music, kind of like go to your fans and all the stuff, the music stuff. How do you maintain your mental health? Sometimes people don't, like you said, sometimes you can be overwhelmed and just drain yourself. How do you maintain your mind through all of this?
Well, my mental health stays healthy because I am surrounded, thank God, by people who care about me.
Right.
Your village is very important. And if you don't have support or somebody to tap you on the shoulder and say, you know what, take a break.
Yeah,
Or, you know what, let's
right.
go dance,
That's right.
you know,
Like
and
something.
because you'll go, no, I don't feel like it. But somebody will go, girl, get up. I'm coming to get you now,
There you go.
period.
There you go.
That helps so much. The first and primary thing that keeps me mentally stable is God. I can always pray, I can meditate.
That's right.
That is my center, that is
Right.
my moving, driving force and my go
Right.
to. Always. That I can do because I always feel better once I feel and hear from the
Right.
Creator. I'm set right as rain, and then I can go another inch.
That's right. Wow, that's wonderful. God always on the top. There's no
Yes,
one else can do what he does. He's the go-to. You know,
that's right.
the go-to. He would never fail you. As long as you keep being
Ever.
obedient, he's the go-to. That's what he is. You're right.
Yep, and understand that that force is actually in you.
That's right.
You don't got to go looking outside. I can't. There's no such word. That idea is put into our heads from others because where we come from, that's not in our vernacular.
That's right.
It's like you find this way didn't go, you find another way.
That's
Because
right.
where there is will, there is way. And you
That's right.
make one, you make the way. And you have the ability to do that. We're made in the Creator's likeness.
That's
So He
right.
gave us all the tools we need to get where we got to go, do what we got to do, even the things we want to do. We can make it happen. And it may take time, but it will happen. I use this analogy. Did you ever see what is that movie where the guy digs out the wall, or digs a tunnel with a spoon?
Oh,
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank. Yes. Yes.
I always use that reference because he took his time with a
Every
little
day.
spoon
Every day.
every day
That's right.
and just carved a little bit out. So I tell people if you do something, just something
Yeah.
to get toward to move toward your goal every day, just
That's right.
something,
That's right.
even if it's follow up and say thank you, so and so for having me last week,
Right.
and
That's
sending
right.
an email, sending a basket to someone. It could be the smallest thing
That's
that's
right.
moving you towards your goal. If you do something every day towards your goal, you will get there
That's right.
little
That's
by
right.
little. Just
That's
do
right.
the work because faith, knowing that it's going to happen, or trust that I believe it's going to happen, God's going to do it for me. But faith without your work is
It's
dead,
dead. You got
it
to
is
put in the work.
moot.
It's about you putting in the work. And
Exactly.
if you look at that hole we just talked about, Shawshank, it got bigger and bigger
Yes.
and big. But it was blood, sweat, and tears doing it. But at the end, he got away.
Yes, he did.
He got away.
It took him years,
Yeah, yeah, but he.
but he did it.
Wow. Wow, you had I'm sorry, you had numerous hits on the Billboard Hot Dance Club songs charts, including several number ones. What motivated you to transition from a background in gospel and musical theater to focusing on house music?
Ah, the transition was easy. It was logical to me. It
Logic.
was, I mean, in my mind, gospel's the foundation of everything.
Yeah.
So it those transitions were easy. And when I was in junior high school and
Mhm.
my music teacher, Miss Roberts, told me, I'm sending you on auditions. You're gonna do this and you're gonna do that. And I was like, no. I did because I was
That's
nervous
right.
and scared.
Yeah.
No, she was like, yes. And she would take me to these different auditions. And
Hmm.
so when I was like 12 and a half, no, I guess I was like, yeah, 12 and a half, 13,
13.
I went to an audition for a play called Brooklyn, You're My Home.
Wow. Okay.
And I and a few other friends, we got the roles as the little background school kids.
Hmm.
And I got a feature and I was able to sing a song called Take This Dictation, where I was mimicking the principal's secretary because she
Yeah.
liked him and she would flirt. And he would
Wow.
tell her, take this dictation, yell on the floor that they can enter my door. He was supposed to be a new principal in the play.
In the
And
play.
she's going, take this dictation. And so we're looking at her and laughing. And then I would take over and mimic her and then go, stop that. And then,
Yeah.
sing the song, blah, 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 blah. The next thing you know, we go on hiatus
Hmm.
and we come back. The lead guy is no longer there. And
Hmm.
I said, well, what happened to the guy that plays Petey? And they were like, oh, he's no longer with us. You're Petey now. I was like,
Oh,
huh?
wow.
So
Wow.
just taking that step because my teacher made me, now I'm the lead in this play, this
Wow.
musical. So the natural thing was that somebody else saw me in the play. Will you
That's
do
right.
this play? Will
That's
you do
right.
that play? Then I started going with my friends. What's going on in the addition? You want to go?
That's
Sure.
right.
I go. Then I get the part. It just kept
Wow.
snowballing. So I just kind of follow the path that God leads me in because He's
That's
in front
right.
of me. So I just follow.
That's
And
right.
as I follow, great things happen, you
That's right.
know?
That's right. You follow, great things come right behind it. You follow, there you go.
Yep, and I was doing musical theater, and because I followed and went to Germany to do well, at this time, I did this show called Broadway Dusseldorf, and
Yeah.
someone came to see me, and they asked me to do Little Shop of Horrors. I didn't have to audition. I did Little Shop of Horrors. From Little
Oh,
Shop of
wow.
Horrors, the co-director had me go see Boris to sing Keep Pushing hit. So I had to do a follow-up. They said, you need to do a second
Wow.
record. I said, okay, whatever. So I did Hold Your Head Up High. Well, you need to do another record. I did Horny. All three of them are now classics. I no longer
Wow.
have time for musical theater. So it just is as you move,
Wow. That's
things
wonderful.
things unfold and you
Mhm.
you grow.
Wow. This is what I mean by wearing a lot of hats. How often are you touring? Like, just going on tour.
Full on tours used to be a lot. It used to be constant.
Okay.
Like, oh my God. But my mother is 95 years old now. She turned 95 August 1st.
That's a blessing.
And I used to stay in Australia for like 3 months at a time out of the year.
Wow.
I no longer do that because I don't like to be that far away on the other side of the world,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
And, my mom is here. Um, and she has her own place and everything. So I need to be,
Yeah.
you know,
That's right. That's right.
accessible a bit.
That's
But
right.
I still go to Australia every year
That's
and
right.
I do my tour there. I still go to Europe. I still, so thank God I'm still gigging. I'm still doing shows and I have my band stuff, which is my favorite. I love working with live musicians.
That's
That's
right.
my favorite and my forte. So
Mhm.
I juggle between the two. I do shows and then I do what I call gigs. which
gigs.
are my band things. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I always thought that was the same, like gigs and shows, but there's a difference.
Yes, to me,
Wow.
and most would say yes because a show
Oh,
is
concert wise, big.
yeah,
Okay.
a show is my music, and someone hired me to do a show, and people will be coming to see me do that show.
Okay.
Um, it can be whatever I want it to be. I can have background singers, I can have dancers, I
Yeah,
can show video in between.
that's
It's a
right. That's
production.
right.
It's more.
That's right.
It can be more of a production.
That's right.
Whereas my band gigs, somebody's hiring the band to do a gig,
Okay. Okay.
and I can be there or I could not be there and still be the band leader.
And
You
we
know what
talk
I
about
mean?
local clubs or local bar or local something like that. Something local.
Yeah. Sometimes local. We travel actually a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, basically that. Like if somebody hires Inaya to
Uh-huh.
do keep pushing and feeling, and I send my cousin, they're gonna be like, what? But if somebody hires the band, hires
Then
Dysfunction,
that's right.
and
That's right.
Cheryl Pepsi shows up, but I don't, they're okay with that
Oh wow.
because
Okay.
we got some of the front line. We still have, you know,
Okay.
if we didn't show up and two other girls show up on our place, which has happened because we had to do other shows, they
Yeah.
were like, mm.
Yeah. That's
They were
right.
like, they were good, but next time we'll make
Yeah.
sure you guys are available.
That's right. That's right. Well, you mentioned Cheryl Pepsi Riley, right?
Yes.
Do you actually do songs with her or are you collaborating with her?
We've never recorded together, but we gig together. Like we sing together. Like I said, we have the band together. If you look up Dysfunction, the band, you'll
It's
see
every
both our names. We
both of
own
them.
the band together. And we've had
Oh,
that band for over 20 years.
oh,
And
same
we're
people.
like sisters. Yeah, the front line is always the same.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but we're like, we're
Yeah.
spiritual
Yeah.
sisters. We're like something happened. I don't know how we got different mothers,
Wow. Wow. That's
But
good.
we still work together and we communicate every day.
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. She's another legend icon, saying that, iconic,
Yes, she is.
Wow. Wow. You founded Ny-O-Dae Music to have more control over your business, over your releases. What do you consider to be the most liberating and the most challenging aspect of being an independent artist in the modern music industry?
Um, the most beneficial thing about it is that I have more control over it. If I make a song and I really believe in it,
Yeah,
and I shop it to different labels and they don't share my sentiment, I can go, okay, cool, and release it myself
yeah,
because I have the tools and
that's
I
right.
know how, so, and I usually do better with the music than the person I
Uh,
was shopping it to because
okay, okay.
who's going to push you harder than yourself,
And
right?
yourself. That's right. That's
Right.
right.
Um, the having the label has been at times a challenge,
Yeah.
but most of the time I use it when I need it or when I want it. I don't
Hmm.
have to, but it's good to have. I have friends who are not so known and they want to release something. If I like it, I can release it on their behalf,
That's right. That's right.
things
That's
like
right.
that. And in this climate, it is a it is imperative that you have your own outlet for your music.
That's
The
right.
way things are today, there's no excuse. There are too many ways to release your music. You can even just release it on YouTube because
That's
when
right. Right.
YouTube has a timestamp thing where you can time your release for Friday at
Right.
noon,
That's
and you
right.
can then push it and say countdown to Friday noon.
Yeah.
I'm releasing my new,
That's right.
and people will all hit it at one
Yeah.
time.
You can schedule it right. Right. Anytime you
You
want.
can totally schedule it,
You can schedule it.
and
Yeah.
everybody converges upon your site at one time. Your
That's right.
numbers go up. You get advertising that
That's right.
gets you paid.
Right.
You use
That's
that
right.
money, flip it, and then start financing your own live performances.
That's right.
That's another income stream.
Mhm.
So it is a challenge, but it's in my opinion, an easy parlay if you put in
Yeah.
the work because it
It
does take
is.
time.
It is most definitely. It's very easy. Everything is kind of easy right now. Like you said, you shouldn't have no excuses, at all.
Yes. And it's good and it's bad because before music was more controlled.
Yeah,
So the quality in most cases was controlled.
that's right.
Now everything and anything can get out there. But the thing is that there's something for everybody
That's
because if
right.
they're out there and they're doing well, somebody is clicking it.
That's right.
You
That's
know
right.
what I mean?
That's
So
right.
there's a market for everything and everybody. But then on the other hand, when you release music and you may be a stellar artist
Mhm.
and know how to write music, read music and everything, but nobody's hearing it because you have to these days wear neon yellow, stand on one foot and jump to be seen because there's an
Yeah,
ocean
that's
of
the
other
truth.
people releasing at the
Yeah,
same minute.
that's
Yeah.
the truth. I mean, you're
Yeah.
speaking facts. It's all facts. Wow. It's crazy. Sometimes you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the followers behind your talent, you're not going to get seen. They're going to overlook you. The first thing they ask you, how many followers do you have? They don't care about it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, the first thing they ask. And um, it's a shame because when you're working with people, that's the first thing you're going to look at. When I'm talking to someone and da 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 da, and they're like, "Yeah, I've done this and I did." The first thing I do is I go tick 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 click click. I look at their Instagram, I look at their YouTube, I look at the,
Yeah, yeah,
and it can come in handy in a
yeah.
way because if you're a known artist and someone asks to work with you, you can see, oh, we're working with this person. They're on my level or a little above. So we
Yeah,
can pull each
yeah.
other up. And then you might realize, oh, wait, this person has never made music before. Let me not.
You got a point.
eh.
You got
But
a point.
then
You got a point.
it's two sides of the same coin because then it's like
Yeah.
this person's music is dope and nobody's ever heard him. Let
Wow,
me
that's
work
another
with this
one.
person.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's another one.
But you gotta really discern
Mhm. That's
what's
right.
going to benefit you and what's not. And it's
That's right.
really up to the individual now and what they can do with what they have.
Wow. Yeah, you're correct. Once again, I am I am like surprised at this next question. And the fans may be also. Now, everybody hates Chris. Your voice is on that theme song, correct?
Yes. Um, Tashina Arnold is a childhood friend, so we're
Yeah.
like family. She wrote this song, a theme song for Everybody Hates Chris. Now,
Okay.
you guys have just recently, I think, heard the rest of the song because they only play the Everybody Hates Chris
That's
part.
it. That's it. They just play that part.
But in the video, in the studio video, you can see us doing the misunderstood. Everybody, there's much more to the song.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yes, Tashina wrote a whole song, right? So we were supposed to record it with Stan the Man, Stan the Man from Salt and Pepper,
Yes. Yeah.
Stanley Brown
Stanley
from
Brown.
Salt and Pepper Kid and Play, and so many other things.
Mhm.
So he Don't Wake Me, I'm Dreaming. He wrote that and produced that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he's everything. So he's also a childhood friend. So we were supposed to go to his studio and record it.
Mhm.
But the studio was double booked, and we went there, and somebody else was in there. It's like, oh, I didn't know because he shares that studio.
Yeah.
So I was like, don't worry about it. We can go to my house. And I recorded that song in
Mhm.
my home studio. I engineered it and sang it with them.
Oh wow.
And we
Wow.
laid that
Okay.
down in the dead of summer. I had no air conditioner, and we sang that in my little room with
I
my
got it.
with my Tascam
Wow.
428.
Wow. Wow. But you got it done.
And yes, I got it done. And then it became the theme song you all hear.
So you have about 90% of the song. Like how much is your voice on that song? Is it everything? The whole song?
Oh yeah, because we're all singing it together, even the verses.
Okay.
The
Okay.
misunderstood, we're all doing it as in unison. And then at the end in harmony, we all go, everybody
Everybody
has a
hates.
friend.
Okay, that's everybody.
Yep,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
myself, Tashina Arnold, and Broadway star Victor Trent Cook.
Now, how does that work with Chris Rock? I know everybody worked together because it's his TV show. How did that work with him? Did you guys take the song back to him and he loved it, or did he know that y'all was going to make this song?
Well, Tashina figured she would give it a shot, and then she took it back to them. She took it back
Oh,
to
okay.
Chris and his crew, and they listened and they loved it, and they chose us. So that was a
Wow.
blessing too.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. That's nice. That's nice.
yeah.
See, now it's in my head now because we watch it all the time. So now when I hear the song, I'm gonna think of you.
And if you look at the special features on the DVDs, you'll see the video of us reenacting the recording.
Oh, the recording.
It's not
Okay.
the actual recording because like we did that in my house in the room with me on
Right.
the
Yeah.
engineer tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can
Wow.
see us in the studio with the cans on, re-singing it
Hmm.
and singing with the tape. And
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
it's online too. It's on YouTube and everything you can see.
Wow. Just two more questions, and I know you have things to do. In addition to your dance music, you write, records, perform gospel, music theater, jazz, hip hop, and R&B. Considering your career spanning several decades, how has the house and dance music scene evolved, especially in New York City? And what are your thoughts on its future trajectories?
Well, dance music in New York City, it's really underground. I like it underground. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
the big clubs that we had, the known clubs that we had, like the Tunnel, everything is
a tunnel.
gone. They
Yeah.
came through here and they swept us clean. But we always find a way.
Hmm.
So there are great events like 718 sessions and things like that
Oh, okay.
that we
Okay.
go to, and Soul Summit.
Hmm.
There are many of Body and Soul where you can hear wonderful, authentic, soulful, and progressive house
Yeah.
music. You
Okay.
know, but no longer can we go to Cheetah, Club Cheetah, and hear
It's over.
the music. Those
Yeah.
standard clubs,
It's over.
they wiped us out. But big ups to my hometown, Brooklyn, New York. We have these warehouses that are now music venues
Wow. Wow.
where the house music scene thrives. I mean, thrives. So you got to be in it to know where it is, or just be a passerby and happen to stumble upon it. But we found a way, even though they don't really support us anymore. Like back in the day, you would hear Follow Me in regular rotation on the radio here, but it's not. Now you hear it in dance mixes.
Yeah, it is. They mixed it up. I don't know. I never knew why they do that, but they mixed it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
Wow. Wow.
but everything has its turnaround. So everything will come back to to the
It
good way
should.
sooner
It
or
should.
later.
But since you mentioned that, how do you feel about the music today, hip hop and R&B?
um, I love a lot of it. I love a lot of it, but I don't love as much of it as I used to.
Okay.
Um, Before, when, like I said, the quality, it was a little different. So before you had a whole bunch of favorite songs. Something would come on, oh, that's my jam. Oh, that's my jam. They used to say everything is your jam. I was like, kinda, you know.
Yeah,
But now it's like, uh,
that's
uh.
right. That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
I wind up going back to Sirius XM, The Groove, and listening to classics,
That's right. That's what I do. 80s,
because I
80s,
get
and
so,
90s. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
that's right.
Because it's like, I try to listen to the other stuff, and then, like I said, it's a lot that I like, but so much more that I don't.
That you don't.
Everyone sounds the same.
That's
They
right.
have no, and I don't want to say everyone. Like I said, there's a lot of people I like, but
Yeah.
a lot of people sound similar to the next person, and the industry makes them. I'm not even gonna blame the artist. Makes them crank out this cookie cutter music because
Wow.
it worked this time and made us millions. Let's make this artist do it and make millions again. They don't
Yeah.
care. They're just draining what they can out of it and then they leave it. Just
Right.
like real estate moguls do to neighborhoods. They
That's right.
get all they can do out of it, then they leave it
They leave it. That's right. That's
and
right.
leave the marginalized to struggle. They leave like they did in Trenton. They take everything from it,
And they
suck it
left.
dry, and left. And
Wow.
there's a motto on the Trenton Bridge, Trenton, New Jersey. It says, Trenton makes and the world takes.
Wow. That's the truth. That's the
Yeah. And
truth.
they took
Yeah.
all of the industry out of it, all of the wealth out of it, Once they
Wow.
sucked it dry, it was like whatever. They turned their back on the city and the people. It's the
Right.
same thing with music these days. They get these young kids who are just happy to get a deal, and
That's
their
right.
parents may not know. They may not have an entertainment lawyer or whatever. They get the deal, and they're like, once I get my deal though, then and I blow up, then they'll do what I say. Not really. They're just gonna suck everything out
That's
of
right.
you,
That's
and
right.
then when it's dry, the well is dry, then it's like, well, this kid can sing. Let's go over here. And
Wow.
it
Wow.
all
Wow.
sounds the same. It's like
Wow.
a conveyor belt, like you're in a factory. This one, yep, that one looks like that. That one
Yeah.
sings like that.
Same way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whereas all of the great people were innovative.
Hmm.
They did different things. Like I'm grateful that Keep Pushing was done with people who believed in it because there was nothing like it. You
Wow.
know, there was nothing like it,
That's
and they
right.
believed in it and pushed it, and it rocked. Those are the things that stay. Things that are
Astounding.
different
That's right.
stay. You create. Nobody sounded really that I know of sounded like a Gladys Knight, but people sound like her.
Yeah. Yeah. But it
There
was
was
still
nobody doing
different.
what Tina Turner did,
Yeah,
but
it was different.
they mimic her now.
Yeah, you know the difference between Rakim didn't sound like Big Daddy Kane. Queen Latifah didn't sound like MC Light. In today's hip hop and R&B, they all sound the same. It's the same similar songs, the
And they're
same
mumbling.
mumbling. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't know what they. I don't understand it. You know, one thing God says is that the world love its own. So if you love that music, that's because you understand that life, that worldly, this the life period. I don't understand the lyrics. I got to go back to Public Enemy and Big Daddy Kane and those type of lyrics. I love that. But the music today, I just can't get. I don't understand it. I just don't. And that's
Yeah,
my
it's hard to sing along because you gotta listen. You gotta go,
yeah,
like, what?
yeah. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, I don't identify.
This last question, I have to let the fans, the viewers know. You've written, created, arranged, and sung background vocals and hooks for many notable artists, including Missy Elliott, Michael Jackson, Ashford and Simpson, Bootsy Collins, MC Light, Queen Latifah, and P. Diddy and Oprah Winfrey. What did you do with Oprah Winfrey?
That goes back to Ashford and Simpson, really, because when I was
Oh,
mad young, Oprah wanted a new theme song, but like it was going to be based on I'm Every Woman because that's when she had her TV show. So I was going to be I'm Every Woman. My time is now. I can sense your every need, every woman, man, or child. And
oh,
then, the lyrics are adjusted to fit her. So
okay.
Ashford and Simpson did that, and they called me. And they were like, "Baby, we've been calling you. I've been calling all over trying to find you." And that was no lie because when they found me, I was at my friend Tony Seawright's house. They called Tony Seawright's house, and they were like, "Oh yeah, she's right here." And I was like, "Hello?" They were like, "It's Valerie for you." I said, "Valerie
How
who?"
did
They
they get
said,
the
"Valerie
number?
Simpson."
Yeah, how did they
She
know?
knows Tony Seawright as well, but
Okay, okay.
Valerie and Nick had called everybody that they know that I know, trying to hunt me down. They were like, "Oh, she's this
Wow,
place.
wow.
Oh, I think she's at that place." And then somebody probably finally said, "Oh, she's at Tony Seawright's."
Okay.
And then they called Tony's house, and they were like, "The phone's for you." I was like, "Me?" And I was like,
Wow.
"Hello?" And she's like, "I need you. I need you in the studio. We need you to
Mhm.
do this thing we're doing for O." And I was like,
Wow.
"Okay." Because they're like family. They with Oprah. They're really tight. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, "Okay." And I go into the studio, I think like the next day or two, and they let me hear it. And I did a version with my leads, and then there's a version with Valerie's leads.
For Valley.
Of course, they
Okay.
chose Valerie's,
Okay.
yeah, because that's
Okay.
Valerie Simpson. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
I would have. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how I wound up doing that. So if you could ever find the archive of the I'm Every Woman Oprah Winfrey theme, that's me, Valerie Simpson, and the awesome Allison Williams on
Wow.
that vocal who made
Wow.
Just Call My
Wow.
Name. Yep.
Wow. Yes. I'm well aware, Allison. I know that was a great song. Wow.
Yes, the three of us did
Wow.
it. Oh,
Okay.
and I think yeah, it was one more person. Um, she used to sing background for Nick and Val. And so it was the four of us in the
It was
booth.
four. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this was wonderful. And I hope that in the future we can do this again. I thank you so much, the legendary Ny-O-Dae, with all of the hit songs. Go check her catalog, viewers. She has everything going on. I thank you so much for coming to A Vision Entertainment. I do. I really do.
Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for your patience.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Is there anything that you would like to say to your fans about upcoming events? What do you got going on now? Things like that.
Yes, for a long time, I'm going to say, I think it's like 8 years, I've been working on this project that I always called my secret project. And
So,
it's on one artist. It's remakes, reimagined from the music of one artist. And I would never say who it is, but it's Gladys Knight. I'm going to say it now.
oh,
So I've been working on it for 8 years, and
yeah, yeah.
it's finally now starting to come to fruition. And I performed it for the first time at Le Poisson Rouge here in New York, LPR, and it went over very well. So I will be doing that soon. I will be releasing it and doing a show with
Wow,
just that music with some
wow.
visuals to go
Okay,
with it.
okay.
And I'll announce that soon. Right now, and I want to announce that I have an upcoming tune. This is just fascinating, and I have to tell it. There's this little kid, he's 14. He contacted me on social media, and it
Uh,
was like, I'm only 14, but I've been doing some pretty good music. So of course I looked to see what he was doing. This kid
wow.
is killing it.
He
And he was like,
awesome.
would you do a song for me, Miss? A song for me with
Wow.
me, Miss Anaya? And I was like, sure. So his
Yeah.
dad contacted me. It's called I Can Feel It. This track is blazing.
It's
And this kid
fire.
can produce his butt off, and he plays multiple instruments. That's
Wow.
what got me. He's a
Wow.
multi-instrumental 14-year-old who is socking it, and you're going to hear a lot about him. And his name is Max Winfield, and we have a song coming together very soon. So
Wow.
look out for that.
So we'll look forward to a video also, right?
Heck yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. Wow, I thank you. I really thank you, the legend Anaya-Dae.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Inaya Day, and you're watching A Vision Entertainment. Yeah.